When I'm in school, my freedom of speech is clearly limited. But when I get out of school, do I carry these restrictions with me? When I get home, I'm not thinking about school rules. I just want to relax. With social networking sites, can I say whatever I want without feeling the pressure of the administration looking over my shoulder at all times?
As to whether or not the school should be able to control what one writes or says on the internet, in my view, depends on whether you're doing it on school or you're doing it out of school.
Freedom of speech in the public school system is the both right and responsibility of every student, and needs to be respected by the administration and exercised by students within the constraints of law.
Well, the freedom of speech is very important for students. We learn a lot of things here in school, not just to prepare students for the next class or for careers, but we need to prepare students for life. And one of the rights and responsibilities of citizenship in this country is the freedom of expression, freedom to associate with whomever, to protest against actions of the government and so on. And schools are a good place to start learning those skills.
At least on school campus, my rights with freedom of speech are relatively limited.
I think that students' rights are altered when they enter a school, in that because the school has a dual role, not only to educate, but also to act in loco parentis without the parents here in order to protect students, that does at times impact student rights.
I feel like we should have our freedom outside of school because we're here most of our time, and what we do with our free time is none of their business.
I don't think that the school has any or should have any authority over speech that takes place outside the classroom. This is off-campus speech. And again, if it's not libelous or slander, then it's protected speech.
Freedom of speech can be infringed in order to protect the learning environment to a degree.
In any event, I think that it is at least a clear demarcation of what happens on school grounds should be treated differently than what happens off school grounds.
Schools should be trying to get involved in stuff that we do privately, because I understand the school environment and I understand that there should be stuff that they should prevent us from doing in school. But outside of school, it's not their territory to be bothering us with, so.
A Burlington teenager started the new school year with a free speech controversy hanging over her head. Avery Doninger sued her high school principal and superintendent this summer, saying they violated her constitutional and civil rights by removing her as class secretary after she used derogatory language to describe school administrators in a blog.
I was really involved in my student council. I was a part of the JamFest committee, which was to plan this JamFest event, which was kind of a Battle of the Bands kind of event. About a couple days before the event, we were told that it's not going to happen. We wrote this really nice email saying to all the taxpayers that we knew, saying, look, this is what's going on. We really want this event to happen. Please contact central office or email them and let them know that you really want this event to happen. Around noon, I went to set up this meeting, and I'm waiting for the Principal Niehoff, and then I see her walking toward me in like this angry walk, really upset, clearly really upset, drags me into her office, says, I don't know what's going on, do you know why central office is getting flooded with calls? As of right now, JamFest is canceled, and I'm just like, what? And I went home at around 9:30 at night. I wrote on my home blog that I had rarely used, and the first sentence was, so basically, JamFest is canceled due to the douchebags in central office. About a month later, I got a call down to the principal's office and to talk to Ms. Niehoff, and she put a copy of my blog in front of me with the word douchebag underlined in red. She goes, okay, well, there's 3 things you need to do. You need to apologize to the superintendent, tell your mother, and we're going to ask you to step down from all leadership positions. And I said, well, I'll do the first 2 things, but I'm still going to run for class secretary my senior year.
She told me what the 3 requirements were, and I had never seen the blog before. And when I saw the blog, I wasn't thrilled with douchebag or pissed off. But I really liked the spirit of what she was doing. I liked the activist nature. She was punished for being rude. That's what they said. It was disrespectful.
The technology today is perhaps creating situations where an individual's actions now are more likely to have a disruptive impact simply because they are so widely disseminated so easily and so quickly. The line for freedom of speech, regardless of whether the activity is in school or out of school, still has to look at whether there's a disruptive impact on the school setting.
We already know that we don't even have to be speculative on that. We know that it didn't.
I think the fact that what the student in the Donninger case posted online, widely disseminated, urging any of the readers to contact the superintendent's office and voice their displeasure with the decision that was made, coupled with the fact that the information that was disseminated was not completely accurate.
They didn't find the blog until I think it was about 3 weeks after everything had transpired. So we don't even have to speculate. We know that it didn't cause a disruption.
It was the responsibility of the district, if that conduct occurred out of the school setting, to make the connection between the conduct, the activity, and the disruptive impact in school.
Students, even if they're under 18, are still citizens. And citizens should have the right to say anything that they want as long as it doesn't violate some other rules, such as you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. Actually, a blogger is the person who contacted me, told me about this case, and then I received a call from the Donninger family, and they hired me to represent them. The mere coincidence that someone found out about it and brought it to the school's attention. In this case, I don't know if you know this or not, but it was the superintendent's adult son, who's a lawyer downstate, somewhere in Fairfield County. He was trolling the internet. He put in his mother's name in Google, and the blog posting came up.
If they just called a teacher like a swear word or something on a blog that was not meant for that person to see, obviously, then I think that's fine and the school should stay out of it.
I don't think that's fair because, I don't know, it's their own, it's outside of school, and so why should it matter to the school, in person, you tell your friends outside of school that, a teacher is bad or something, so just because it's on there doesn't mean it should be, in trouble. You shouldn't get in trouble for that.
What happens, as is true of a lot of blogs, there's a place for comments, so you post your comments, and several people wrote comments. Well, 3. One of them, who was later identified as a fellow student, did refer to the superintendent in a even more derogatory fashion. We could debate about whether or not calling someone a douchebag is better or worse than calling him a dirty whore. My initial reaction was that it was pretty outrageous that a school system would actually take action and punish a student for this.
They were having a conversation with someone and they said they didn't really like that teacher. And of course they're using an offensive term, but still it's kind of invasion of privacy.
And it was the responsibility of the district, if that conduct occurred out of the school setting, to make the connection between the conduct, the activity, and the disruptive impact in school. And in that case, the courts felt that the district had made that connection.
If what you do outside of school definitely, has material interference in our school activities, is a social, substantial disruption, or it invades the rights of others, then of course it's our responsibility. To define that, if an event came up, of what does that mean? Because you and I might have a different definition of what substantial means, or what an invasion of someone's rights are, or what a material disruption is. I think those are that language lends itself to interpretation.
If anyone was to call the principal a name, I don't think it would cause that much, controversy.
It doesn't offend me, but I suppose certain things that people say could be offensive to other people and the school, I guess.
When can administration make an opinion or a decision based on the safety of the students and the substantial disruption to their learning environment versus what can students say about people because they do have freedom of speech?
One judge has said that it is legal, and I would say maybe more than one. The appellate court, of which the panel included our current Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, said that it was okay to ban her from running.
And just this past week, a federal judge ruled against her, and now she is planning to appeal.
I think it's wrong what happened, but so far, I'm hoping that we'll have a better result this time around from the Second Circuit Court of Appeals.
Well, the judge's ruling is a travesty. It makes no sense. He falsely reports testimony. He misrepresents key testimony. It's a joke.
This decision will basically be widely transmitted to everyone so that schools will start to respect the boundaries.
This past week, you lost. The judges wrote that essentially off-campus speech can become on-campus speech with the click of a mouse.
We appealed to the Second Circuit, and we lost again, and then we went, and that was in New York, and then we went back just recently, a couple months ago. We went to appeal not getting a trial on the blog. We want a trial on the blog issue because that is the main issue. I want a good precedent to be set with my name attached to it, but on free speech rights of students. So.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what even we are allowed to say.
I don't really know the policies.
I know you can get in trouble for bullying people over the internet, but that's all I know. I don't know anything else really.
They restrict us because I don't know why.
We could learn a lot from students, but I think at this level, students should have a say in all kinds of policies.
I think that's the biggest thing, is to very carefully listen to what students are saying.
Today is so unordinary because you took my son away. Yesterday